Hey everybody, it's Doug here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to our next episode of Townsfolk Tussle. Now, in the last one, I lost, but I also made a couple mistakes with Wagums. He might have killed himself. I'm not sure. I don't think I missed. I think I missed it once, maybe twice. It still wouldn't have won us the game, I don't think. Where if he didn't actually do any damage, he would shoot himself. I did miss it. Sucks. Sorry about that. Anyway, we're gonna take another run, and I picked 3 new characters. Again, I randomized 3 characters. One of them ended up the same. So we're going to take a look at that. I got to get some gear out for these folks, and we're going to get right to it. I'm not going to do all the preamble that we had before because we don't need to, but we do need to get out the gear that exists for these special new characters. I want to make sure that we get everything that we're supposed to there. So we're going to get the starting gear out for these guys and start that. No, the first one that we're going to have is Norman Fishboy. So I don't need to look at him again. You know, he's got his fishy cap and his reliable rod. He's staying in the game, but the next 2 are different. This here is Granny Melva, and she is the talk of the town. She has some kind of thing going on with the town vendor even. It's hard to say. You'll have to read her story, her backstory when you get the chance. But she's got 2 specific items. She's got Granny's cane, 2 mocks, 1 damage. It is a one-handed melee weapon, so we'll put that in her left hand. But she's also got Granny's, the Rooter Tooter. Where's that? The Rudy Tooter. It's a gun with the little lips coming out of it. So nice. 1 mocks, 6 range, and 2 damage. But the range is 5. When used, the Rudy Tooter cannot attack on the following turn, so she only gets to use it once every other turn. She has a special ability, so we'll put that in her left hand as well. She has a special ability that makes that more interesting. She's farsighted. She gets to add X to her accuracy, where her accuracy equals the number of squares between her and the target. So she likes to get to that 5 range and shoot. Then Lover's Discount. Granny and the Peddler sure seem well acquainted. You receive a 2-coin discount when purchasing from the Peddler gear that's worth 7 coins or more. So she doesn't get like freebies or anything, but she's pretty cool. And then we've got Yancey Plover. This is his miniature. He's like a big anvil-headed guy. Yeah, he's pretty cool. He's got, let's see, what are his starting gear? Starting gear is the Smithy's apron. We're going to find that. Here's that. And it says, once per fight, prevent all damage dealt to you from an action. That's once per fight. So that's not great, but that is going to be chest gear. And then he's got the, he's got Old Smacky. And here is Old Smacky. It's 2 mocks, 5 to hit, 1 damage. On a critical hit with this weapon, deal +1 damage. Well, it's a one-handed melee weapon that is going into his hands. So basically, that's the gear they have in his special abilities. Is he's a frantic fighter. For 2 mocks, if the next card in the action deck targets a single townfolk, it targets you instead. If it does not target a single townfolk, you gain 1 movement for the fight. That's the whole fight. That's pretty good. That means you can continue to increase your movement and go crazy. He's like, see him steaming his head and everything there. It says, and he's a blacksmith. While he's in town, other townfolk may pay you 5 coins and discard a piece of non-starting gear. If they do, they receive the first weapon in the Peddler deck. So in other words, they can discard an item, give him to him, he'll rework it into a weapon. So that's pretty cool. We'll see if that comes into play or not. Again, the next thing we do is we're going to draw 3 feats of metal for our characters and take a look at them. Again, there's going to be Norman's, Granny's, and Yancey's 3 feats. So I'm just going to go. I've shuffled this up pretty good, but I'm giving it a couple cuts. 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. That should be nice and shuffled and mixed up. But that's only 2. I need 1 more. So 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Now we got 3 each. So this will be Norman Fishboys right here. What's he got? Doctor. Restore 2 hit points to other townfolks over the course of the single fight. I don't know how he'd do that. Anyway, Into the fray. Start your turn as the closest townfolk. Cannot be a tie. That one will probably be easier to achieve. And bullied, if the ruffian collides with you, achieve this feat. That's probably easy to achieve. So 2 out of 3 are pretty good for him. Let's see what Granny Melva's got. One fellow army. Deal 3 damage to a ruffian in a single turn. I don't know how she would do that. Well, she could if she can get a couple more mocks. She's only got 2. She could, if she's had some way to shoot her gun and hit with her cane, she could get 3 in a single turn. Not a single attack, single turn. Regenerator, restore 1 hit point to yourself. Okay, she can probably get that one. And by the skin of your teeth, complete the fight with 1 hit point remaining. That's worth 2. Wow, I don't know if he'll get that, or she'll get that, rather, but we'll have to see. It's worth a shot. And then we got Lord of the Landscape. Enter every terrain feature currently on the landscape. 2 points. Might be able to pull that off. Nimble Trader. Sell 2 pieces of gear in a single town phase. And Dainty Salesman. Sell a piece of gear. So he's got some gear selling things to do. That's not bad for him considering his blacksmith ability. And well, I don't know if that helps actually, but that would probably been better suited for Granny Melva. I don't know what he's going to get to accomplish in this one. Okay, the next thing we do is we're going to get town events. Now, I got the town event deck ready to go, but we're going to do something slightly different with it. You know, last time I tried to play with the secrets because, you know, I'm just one person and it's hard to play with secrets. If I draw a secret for a town event, I'm just going to turn them all out. I'm going to redraw because there's no point in... the secrets thing was too hard to manage last time. So if it's a secret, we're not going to do it. So the first one is not a secret. This is Norman Fishboy's. Enhanced Weaponry. You plunge your weapon deep into the foul outhouse. That's poison damage, baby. Place this event underneath one of your weapons. The next time you deal damage to a ruffian with the weapon, they are overcome with disease. Shuffle this card into the action deck. When it is drawn, the ruffian receives 2 damage. This card is placed in the action discard pile. Then draw the next action card. So it can remain, it can keep killing him. So I guess Norman is going to have that under his reliable rod. He's got enhanced weaponry. Good for him. Okay, let's see what else we get. So this is going to be Granny Melva's. Bar visit. You take a solo excursion to the Eureka Springs bar. You may pay 3 coins to wet your whistle. If you do, roll plus moxie. That's only 2. 1 to 3, you get a little too tipsy and fight the bartender. Immediately take 1 damage to start the fight. 4 to 7, you drink a bit too much and black out. What happened? You cannot shop during the town phase. Discard a piece of gear and receive the first 2 items of the peddler's deck worth 8 coins or less. It's not terrible, but I don't want to do that with Granny. It says you may, so we don't have to do this. She'd have to roll pretty high. 8. Boy, do you feel relaxed. For the next fight, you gain +1 max hit points. Man, that's a choice we have to make. Let's draw, while I'm thinking about that, let's draw Yancey Pulver's card. The Peddler's Grab Bag. This time I got no secrets. That's interesting. Town event. Want to reach inside, chump? Who knows what you might find? While passing the Peddler's cart, you've been offered a lucrative grab bag deal. You may pay 7 coins. If you do, receive the first card in the Peddler's deck. 7 coins for that? I don't know. I don't know if that's worth it or not. So far, the only one I'm truly convinced of is Norman Fishboy's Enhanced Weapons. It's like, I don't know if this is worth 3 coins. Especially since she's only got a mox of 2. So she would have to roll a 6 or better to get the best thing. This is bad because I don't want her to lose her gun. That it says discard a piece of gear. I guess I could lose her cane and keep her gun. I don't know. Oh man, I don't know. I feel like sometimes you got to take a shot on these. We're going to do it. We're going to spend that money. Let's roll it and see what happens. A 2. Of course, that's a 4. So that is going to happen. We're going to dump her cane. Does it say... Okay, so she spent 3. She can get 2 items, though. Discard a piece of gear and receive the first 2 items from the Peddler deck worth 8 coins or less. Begin the next phase at the bottom left-hand corner of the landscape. Okay, so that's going to happen. You drink a bit too much. We cannot deal with it. So we're going... It doesn't say unequip. It says discard. So I'm going to put Granny's cane aside. So she's lost her cane drinking too much at the bar. Now that's a problem. But let's get out the Peddler deck because we got 2 people that may get the first thing out of the Peddler deck. So we'll start with her. Here's one. There's like several stacks of Peddler decks. So we'll draw one from here. It is 6, so she gets Dead Man's Head, +1 mox. You may equip an additional piece of headgear to your headgear slot. Wow, that's pretty good. And she's got now a 3 Mox, but of course she lost her weapon. I'm going to grab one of the other stacks of item cards and see what we get out of those. They're pretty far away from me. Okay, let's see what we get. This actually fits her pretty well. Busty Brazier, 0 Mox. Unequipped Busty Brazier, reveal the next card in the action deck. May only be activated when adjacent to a ruffian. What? Unequipped Busty Brazier. Reveal the next card in the action deck. May only be activated when adjacent to the ruffian. It's 3. Well, she's going to get that, but I don't really understand what it does. I'm going to have to think about that. But she's got those 2 items, so there you have it. So she gave up her cane, but she's got the Dead Man's Head, which is pretty good, because that gives her 3 Moxie. And then she's got this Busty Brazier, which says for 0 Mox. What does that mean? She doesn't go down to 0 Mox. What? I don't understand. I guess usually that's the cost. So it says for 0 Mox, I can unequip it. So she basically shows off her Granny Tatas. It says reveal the next card in the action deck. Okay, that's the action deck for the villain. May only be activated when adjacent to the ruffian. I just don't know. Reveal. Oh, I guess reveal. So we get to see what he's going to do. Doesn't mean he hasn't done it yet. Okay, that's okay. I get that. We also owe her some coins back. So that was 3. She gets 2 back from the bank. So she's only got 7 to spend, but she gets a discount. That's why that was okay doing that with her. Now, do we do this peddler's grab bag with good old Yancey for 7 coins? It's just 1 item. I mean, we could get 2, but let's do it. We're going to do it. We're going to go crazy on these event cards, the bar visit and the peddler's grab bag. We're going to do it. So he's got 10 again because this is the start of the game. So he's going to have 3 left. Give us 3. We'll get the other deck out, and it says again. It says that it will be a item of, you may pay 7 coins. You get the first item, so it doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't really matter what it is. It could be a 10, 15 point weapon. Hopefully, we'll see. Lucky coin. That's only with 4. That was not worth it. You may land a critical hit. This is an accessory, so it's free. I mean, it doesn't take up a slot really for us. When you land a crit, hit attack deals +1 damage. Wow. Okay, so here's the thing. If he lands crits, he's now doing +2 damage because of that. So that actually worked out okay. But we're not done yet, because now that we've done our events, we're going to go to the shop phase. I'm going to lay out the shop cards and get some cards out on the table. Okay, I got one of the shop decks here. There's so much stuff in this game. Let's just cut it again here. Boom. Let's see what we get. We get, and the only one that has full money is Norman. Boom Boom Brew, we've seen that before. Straw Pants, we'll see what that does in a second. We'll go through all of them in a second. I'll do 3 from this one. Fighter's Belt, that's pretty good. 2 Mox does more crit damage, maybe Yancey, but he can't get it. So maybe someone else will. Anyway, let's take from this second deck. We'll get a Gaudy Vest. Okay, +1 max HP, that's a good start. Mr. Horseman. +3 movement. He's 13. We're not going to be able to buy him. Well, no, we can't. Marty's Wand. That's 6. Might be able to do that. And we'll do another one from here. Exploding Cigar. Okay, there's that. We got 3 more to go. We'll take them from this last deck here. Let's see what we get. We got Grip Tape. Stick of Dynamite. TNT, +1 Mox, discard to deal 2 damage to a ruffian within 3 squares. That's pretty good. Only 4. And then the Lion Tamer. Melee 2-handed weapon, 2 Mox, 4 actually, 1 damage. Once per fight, prevent all damage dealt to you or an adjacent townfolk from a ruffian. That's 9 though. I don't know if the only one that can afford that is Norman. He's got weapons. Okay, so we have all these items. Let's get rid of the ones we know we can't buy, so we can't get that one. Really, that's the only one that we can't get, and the Gaudy Vest. It's 11. So these 2 are going to get discarded. We'll just ignore those because we don't have the money. Well, no, Granny only has 7, so technically she gets 2 coins off, so she could get something that's worth 9, but not 11. So let's see, what is worth 9? Well, the Lion Tamer is worth 9. You know, she did lose her... this is 2-handed, though, so that's not going to help her. Yeah, that means she won't have the Rudy Tutor, so that's not good. So right now she's only got the Rudy Tutor, but let's take a look at this. This is a one-handed Ranged one-handed wand. Discard an accomplished feat. Deal 1 damage to a ruffian within 5 squares. So we have to accomplish the feat. She had the ability to accomplish her feats, though. I don't know if that's very good. And then she can't get... This is the thing that's most expensive that she can acquire. But she is also not the first one to buy. It's going to be Yancey. He's only got 3 coins, though. There is absolutely nothing... Well, he can buy the straw pants. Let's see if that's worth it. So Yancey goes first. He's going to... When you take damage, you may discard the straw pants to reduce the damage by 1. For 2, why not? That's all he can afford. He has 3 total. That's the only one he can afford. He'll put the pants on. So now Yancey's got straw pants and a Smithy's apron. Then Norman Fishboy gets to go. I mean, he might want that fighter's belt. But let's take a look. He's the only one that can buy this. The grip tape. Add +2 to your accuracy rolls with a 2-handed weapon. We're doing that because he's already got high accuracy. This will make him like never miss. Grip tape. So yeah, he's buying that for 8. That is just too good to pass up. Here's his 10. I'm going to put that back. He's going to get 2 back. And that will give him... That is really good for him right there. There's just 2. And that goes in his accessory slot. He's got 2 back. Now Granny gets to go. Granny's like, I kind of wanted that. That would have been awesome, but it's not. So I think she's going to go for the fighter's belt. For 2 mocks, deal 1 damage per townfolk to an adjacent ruffian. You are knocked out. Ooh. This is chest gear. She's already got chest gear. Maybe she doesn't want that. She can't get the exploding cigar. She can get the stick of dynamite for 4. I think that might be worth it, right? 1 mox, discard a stick of dynamite. It's an accessory. Let's do that. She's going to get the stick of dynamite for 4. That'll leave her with some coins left too. Leave her with 3 coins left. That's not terrible. And that is going to be the end of the buying phase. We got some good stuff out of there, so all these are going to go away for the entire game, assuming we survive. And then we're going to go see who our chump bad guy is that we're going to have to fight. Okay, I totally redid this. I don't know who they are. Let's see. Lawman Dozy. First the deputy, now the lawman. Lawman Dozy. I don't know anything about it, but we're about to find out. So that goes up there. Let me get his card out. Okay, here it is. Lawman Dozy. Let's read about Lawman Dozy. Dozy is a mountain of a man and served as the town's first sheriff. He fit the role well, but was a bit too strict. The elders tell stories of Dozy in his prime, like when he decapitated that child for stealing a candy bar. Wow, Dozy, you're rough, man. Dozy was sheriff for decades before he was forced into retirement. He was still as strong as Knox, but was starting to lose his marbles. Townfolk would find him kissing trees and eating shoes. Very unbecoming of a lawman. With his brain slowly turning into mush, no one knew what would become of Dozy. Today, the team finds him bashing another townfolk over the head with his trusty handcuffs. It looks like he's finally gone off the deep end. And there is Lawman Dozy. Now, as a chump, he doesn't have any special abilities, and he has a weakness, which I gotta remember these weaknesses. Weakness, double dozed Dozy. Whenever Dozy falls asleep during an action with disease, he takes a damage. Okay. Alright, well, let's go set him up. Okay, here we are. Getting ready to have the battle with Lawman Dozy. Now, in beaten order, we're going to go, we went backwards. In beating order, we're going to have Granny Melva. She's going to go first. Norman Fishboy is going to go second, and Yancey Plover is going to go last. So, just shuffling up his deck before we get started. And let's see, every turn I'm going to stop and look at their feats just to see if we can accomplish something. So, we're going to start with Granny, and I put her in a place where she was just far enough away. Actually, we're going to start with Lawman Dozer. So, let's see, I'm going to give this one more cut, and let's see what he's going to do. Get over here! Dozy's booming voice commands you to come closer. Target none. All townsfolk roll. Okay. And we get to add anything. Nope, we just roll. Okay, so, and then I guess he's going to sleep. I don't know. I guess it shows that symbol on it. It says if he's asleep, right? If So whenever Dozy falls asleep during an action, shows disease, take 1 damage. Okay, we'll have to see if that's what that means. If that's the symbol it shows, does he fall asleep all the time? That'd be crazy. All right, well, anyway, let's see. We'll start with, we'll do it in beat order. So Granny Melva, she rolls a 9. I don't think that's a problem. 8+, you resist Dozy's threat. All the town folks adjacent to Dozy take 1 damage. Dozy falls asleep until the next action. Okay. Next up, we're going to take, we're going to do Norman Fishboy. Let's see what he gets. He got a 7, so he does immediately. You're too intimidated to disobey. Move 5 squares toward Dozy, so he's right next to him. That's a bummer. And then we got Yancey. Come on, Yancey. That is a crit. Doesn't matter, but he didn't move. So, as far as I didn't do any damage, but he didn't move either. Okay. Then all townsfolk adjacent to Dozy take 1 damage. So Norman took a point of damage. That's a bummer. At least he's got 4. Then Dozy falls asleep until his next action. Okay, so he is asleep right now. He's snoozing, Mr. Dozy, and it says double dosed Dozy. Whenever Dozy falls asleep during an action, he takes 1 damage. So he took 1 damage down to 13. And I'm going to remember that if it kills me. Okay, but so did Norman Fishboy, and that's not good. Well, we do have some things now. Let's see what we're going to do. Granny Melva is going to go first. She is 1, 2, 3, 4. So she's going to back up. So she is exactly 5 away for her movement. She's got a decent movement. She can still keep moving. And then she's going to take a shot with her Rudy Tutor. Let me see. She's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away. It's perfect. That's the maximum range. And she gets to add, because of her farsightedness, she gets to add 1 whenever x equals the number of squares between her and the target. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. She is currently at a -2, so she's going to be at a +2 instead. With the Rudy Tutor, let's kick it off and roll another crit. That would be pretty awesome. No, but a 9. That's really good. So that's way over. She definitely did the damage. That is going to do 2 damage to Dozy. Now here's the problem. Dozy is going to trigger his breakpoint from that, so she's going to trigger that. But this is going to also flip over. I'll just turn it sideways because it can only be used once. The gun can only be used once every other turn. So she only needed a 6 to hit, but she had a +2 and she rolled a 9, so she did really well. But it says when used, the Rudy Tutor cannot attack the following turn, so we're just going to turn it sideways. And then maybe that wasn't the best move because I think when he hits this breakpoint, it stops. I believe I'm going to double check the rules on that. I believe that's what happens though when we attack a ruffian, and the breakpoint hits. Okay, where's the breakpoint? Come on, cards. Let's tell me what's going on here. Rule book. Let's see. I'm going to triggering a breakpoint. Yeah, okay. Once a ruffian's HP drops to a certain amount, they hit the breakpoint. These thresholds are marked by a red symbol on the ruffian's hit point bar. If damage causes a ruffian hit point to drop to or below these points, the ruffian reaches their breakpoint, causing them to lash out with vigor. If this occurs during a townsfolk turn, the townfolk must immediately end, and the ruffian takes an action. Okay, so he still takes the 2 points. That's good, but now he's going to take an action, and that's bad. So let's see. Now he's asleep right now, so we'll see if he's not asleep this time. Nightmare. Dozy suffers from night terrors. Target none. If Dozy fell asleep during the last action, he did. He begins to flail wildly, dealing 2 damage to townfolk within 4 squares. If not, play the next card. Well, that does happen, actually. That is really bad. So first off, we're going to go with Yancey here. Since he's right here, we'll just do that. He is going to take a lot of damage. So he's going to burn his straw pants right now. When you take damage, you may discard the straw pants and reduce the damage by 1. So he does that. That means he's only going to take 1 point of damage. Norman Fishboy, however, is almost dead already. So he takes 2 more points. He's at 3. He's only got 1 left. He's got to get out of dodge and run to the well or get some healing or something. I don't even know what the pawn does. You know, I got to get the train deck out. I didn't do that. Crazy me. But it's okay. We got all the train out. Nothing's happened yet. Okay, well, we know that the vegetable patch, which is way up in the back corner, can heal somebody. That's pretty good. We also have the old jalopy. For 1 mox, you can attempt to send the jalopy flying. Roll 1 to 4. The car won't start. Nothing happens. 5. Move the old jalopy forward until it collides with a terrain piece. We got to get to that. That's where Norman's going to go. All characters in its path take 3 damage, then remove the old jalopy from the board. We got to get to the old jalopy with him. The Rickety Farm does some things. Dense Woods. It costs 2 movement to enter the Dense Woods, which are right next to Granny Melva. You know, I didn't finish moving. I could have moved her more. Maybe that would have been a good idea. She's pretty far away. I think she's okay. We'll leave her there for now. Does not affect the ruffian's movement at all. 1 mox, climb a tree, climb higher. You gain +2 range with a ranged weapon. All bonus range is lost if you move from your current square. Okay, well that's interesting. If in collide you fall and you take more damage. Obstacle. The town pawn is an obstacle. The town pawn does not block ranged attacks even though it's an obstacle. So we can see over it. We've already had the cornfield. We know what that does. We already know what the wishing well does. Okay, so Norman Fishboy is up now. It is his turn after Granny Melva shot Dozy. So he is going to attack with his weapon. Obviously, he's got to do an attack on him. It's not because if we want to get this into his deck, this is important. Okay, so we're gonna. It's 2 mocks, so it's both his mocks. So he's just gonna be able to move after that, which is fine. 6 plus accuracy, 1 damage, and it's got a range 2, but that doesn't matter either. One thing he is going to do. Remember, he's got his grip tape, so it's going to give him +2 accuracy. His accuracy is already a 2, so he's got a +4 accuracy. He can barely miss. He's definitely a walloper at this point. And we rolled a 5. Now he needs a 6+, but he got +4, so he hit Lawman Dozer for 1 more. He's already down to 10. This is very different than our last fight, even though we're hurt. And then we're going to move his full movement of 4. Ooh, that's not great. 1, 2, 3, 4. He has no way to move any farther, so he's just trying to get out of the way. Oh, that's it for him? Wow, that's all he's got. What's his fish cap do? 2 mocks. Sling the fish at the ruffian within 4 squares for 2 damage. You must be adjacent to the town pond. Yeah, he might do that next turn, but I also forgot about this already. Okay, place this event underneath one of your... We did that. Next time you do damage to a ruffian with this weapon, they are overcome with disease. Shuffle this card into their action deck. Whenever it is drawn, the ruffian takes 2 damage. Okay, so here is his action deck. We're going to shuffle it all in there. And I'm just trying not to look at it to see where it ends up. If it ends up on top, I'll reshuffle. Okay, there we go. That looks good. It's in there somewhere. Hopefully, we get to do it soon because he can take a lot of damage that way. And we move 4 away, and that's really all we can do. Okay, let me look at his feats again just before we continue to move on. We've done his turn. Bullied, the ruffian collides with you. Nope. Doctor, nope. Into the fray, start your turn. This did happen, actually, so we did achieve this feat. It's going to be, so start your turn as the closest townfolk cannot be a tie. That has happened. He was the first, he was right on him, remember, because he got drawn in by that thing, so when he started his turn, he was there. So, do I want to give +1 mocks this fight, or +2 coins? That's a tough one. I think coins get us stuff. We have some good stuff, though. I think I'm going to take the extra mocks for this fight. So he's at a 3 mocks now instead of 2. We'll see what that does for us. Right now it doesn't do much of anything, but you never know, right? We can get some stuff. Okay, that officially ends his turn. Now let me see, could she one fellow army? You know, I can do 3 damage to it with the TNT. 2 damage plus a shot. Yeah, okay. Regenerator, restore 1 hit point by the skin of your teeth. Complete the fight with 1 hit point. She hasn't even been hurt yet. She can't do any of those. But now we're on to Yancey Plover. Now, if I recall, there's really nothing. This is the only thing you might be able to pull off is the Lord of the Landscape, but I doubt that'll even happen. Because, well, I can't imagine obstacles count. Enter every terrain feature on the landscape. Okay, well, so there's 3 features. He could pull this off. He could go into the forest, the cornfield, and the vegetable patch. But for now, we're going to start with his movement. Now, he's got his Frantic Fighter. If the next card in the action deck targets a single townfolk, but I don't know if he wants to do that yet, because we got to do some beating here, and he's got his apron so he can avoid damage. He's still got that ability. So I think for his action, he's going to take, his movement's only a 3 right now. He'll go 1, 2 right in front of him. He's going to get him with Old Smacky. Old Smacky's going to do it in. So let's see. Here's Old Smacky. 2 mocks. So he's going to spend 2 of his 3 mocks to hit him for, or 2 of his 2 mocks, rather. No, he's got 3. He's got 3. To hit with Old Smacky. So let's see if he can do it. He's a 5+. Come on, let's get a crit. No, but an 8. An 8 hits. So because he's got a current accuracy of 0. So Old Smacky needs a 5+. He needed a 5 or better to hit. He did hit, but he did not get a critical. So that is going to put Plover or put Dozer down to 9, and that's going to be the end of his action. He moved and attacked. He really can't do anything more. So we're going to move on to Lawman Dozer here. Let's see what he's going to do next. Oh, look. Oh, he's going to take damage next turn. That's Erratic Driver. Target, Old Jalopy terrain piece. If not on the board, remove this card from the game. Play the next card. Move towards the target. If Dozy ends his turn adjacent to the target, trigger the after effect. Otherwise, place this card on top of the action deck. Okay, so what's his movement? His movement is 6. I don't know if he can get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He can. I guess that's well planned. He can get exactly to the Jalopy and the after effect. Dozy enters his Junker and nails the townfolk closest to the Old Jalopy for 2 damage. That's going to be, oh no, that's going to be Norman. Norman's going down so fast already. That can't be possible. Place Dozy adjacent to the closest townfolk and remove the Old Jalopy from the board. Norman's down, y'all. Oh my gosh. So here's how this here's what happens. He gets in the Jalopy, smacks into Norman for 2. So he's going to end up, where does it say he ends up? Remove, okay, Dozy is adjacent, so we'll put him right here. We remove the Old Jalopy, but Norman Fishboy didn't make it already. He is out of the fight just like that. He is unconscious. He did at least get into the fray. He got 1 point, but man, that did not go well for us, did it? But that's his turn, and the next turn he's going to take poison damage. That doesn't stop. So let's see what we can do now. Without Norman Fishboy, we just got Granny Melva, then Yancey. Granny can't shoot again, so she can't throw her TNT. She's going to go, let's see, she's got a movement of 4. Takes 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And for 2 mocks, costs 2 movement to enter any dense woods. It doesn't say to continue to move it. It does not affect the ruffian. 1 mocks, climb a tree. We're going to climb the tree. You gain +2 with ranged weapons. All bonus range is lost. If there's a collision, she'll take 2 damage. But she climbed the tree, and then we're not going to do anything else. We're just going to get ready to use the Rudy Tutor next turn. So she spent 1 mox to climb the tree. Yeah, she can't do her Busty Brazier, so that's all she did this turn. Then we're going to go to Yancey. I guess Yancey's going to chase him down and hit him again, right? I mean, why not? We can stop the damage. Once per fight, prevent all damage dealt to you in this action. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, right up to him, and we're going to get him with Old Smacky again. Now remember, we got a decent chance to hit him. We have a 5, we have a 0 on that, but let's try and crit a 6. Barely hit him, but we did. That puts him down to 8. He hasn't hit the next break point yet, but he did take damage, and that's going to be it for us again. Now, this happens. Place, okay, shuffle this card in the action deck. Whenever it is drawn, the ruffian takes 2 damage. This card is placed as in the action discard pile, then draw the next action. Okay, so he's going to take 2 damage down to 6, but he's going to get to draw. That hit his breakpoint. So this is his breakpoint card. Okay, not his regular turn card at this point. Target none. So Sleepwalker. Dozy has mastered the art of sleep violence. Target none. Move towards the closest townfolk. If there are 3 plus townfolk on the board, trigger the after effect. So there is not. There is not. So we're not going to trigger this after effect because there's only 2 townfolks on the board. Even when his eyes are closed, Dozy poses a threat. Keep this card in front of the townfolk, but we don't do this after effect. I think that's it. That's his whole turn. Move towards the closest townfolk. If there are 3 plus townfolks on the board, trigger the after effect. Okay, there's the after effect. I think that's his whole thing, right? I'm going to read the whole thing. Keep this card in front of the townfolk. Whenever Dozy falls asleep during an action, do the following at the end of the action. Face the closest townfolk and move forward 1 square. Any townfolk that collides with Dozy takes 1 point of damage. Is this whole thing, I think this is the after effect, and this is the... Nope, I think that's it, because it says, even when his eyes are closed, Dozy poses threats. So this doesn't happen. I think that goes away. So nothing there. Sleepwalker didn't do anything. But then we get Pluck and Crush. Dozy grabs a townfolk by the collar, delivers a devastating blow. Okay, target the townfolk with the lowest total feats of metal points. Well, they're both 0, so we can choose whoever it is. Move towards the target. If Dozy reaches him, deal 1 damage. After effect, if there are 4+ townfolks on the board, they're not, so we're going to ignore that. He rushes toward he just goes and smacks Dozy, or Yancey rather, for another point. So Yancey's up to 2 points of damage. I'm just going to take it. I'm not going to block that right now. And that's the end of the round. So we have Granny Melba up in the tree. Yeah, so if I move her again, she loses that, I believe. And I was hoping she'd be far enough away. She is. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away. So there's 4, so that gives her a big time bonus with ranged weapons. She's got 3 mocks. So the first thing she's going to do, oh, that's within 3 squares, but we get +2 range. That's why I did that. 1 mox. You gain +2 with ranged. Oh, this is an accessory. It's not a ranged weapon, so that doesn't count. So she can shoot with her Rooter Tooter for, she's going to have a +4, so she's not going to miss. And she'll do 2 damage. A 2. Did she miss? No, she didn't. She's got 4 range, so that's going to give her +4. Oh, wait. She only gets +2. She actually missed. Okay, that wasn't good. Okay, so she missed her attack. Now, good old Yancey's going to go again. Okay, let's just check her feats. 1 fellow army, deal 3 damage. Nope. Regenerator. Nope. Skin your teeth. Nope. Okay. I know Yancey's he's not going to get his. He's not even trying. He's just trying to win. Okay, he's standing there, so he's going to do damage, but I think after that he's going to try and move. So he's going to attack Dozer. Let's see if he gets it. Oh, that's a 1, so he failed. Isn't there something that happens if you critically miss too? You know you can critically hit, but I think there's something about missing. I don't remember. I'm going to look it up real quick. I don't think so, actually. They just call it something. Let me look. No, a whiff just counts as an automatic miss. And then I think he's going to go 1, 2, 3. He's going to just go right to there. Man, I can't believe we lost Fish Boy in the first couple turns. Wow, that's crazy. And then we're going to go back to Dozer's turn. So let's see what he's going to do. Detain. Dozy declares you're under arrest. Target the townfolk with the lowest feats. Okay, 0s. Move towards the target. If Dozy reaches him, he's going to fall asleep on this too. Deal 1 damage. Dozy falls asleep until his next turn. After effect, Dozy latched a handcuff tightly around the target's wrist before passing out. They are stuck to him. Keep this card in front of the target after Dozy's action and your turn to place yourself adjacent to Dozy. During your turn, you may take 1 damage to force out of the handcuffs. If you do, discard this card. Anyway, we're going to keep that with us. I am going to now burn the apron because I don't want to take another point of damage. So once per fight, you may prevent all damage from this action. So we did that. We used it. It's now used. He did not take the damage, but he also is stuck there with Dozy. However, Dozy's asleep, so we'll see what that does. Now, whenever Dozy's asleep, he takes a point of damage, so he's down to 5. That's only the second time he fell asleep. Now, we're actually doing okay. I'm not sure what we're going to do with Granny. I think she's going to have to move up. So let's take this. We're going to go. She's going to trigger a break point, but that's okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. She's going to move up to there. She's still in the woods. She's going to huck the dynamite at him. 1 mox. Discard the stick of dynamite. Then deal 2 damage to the ruffian within 3 squares. So she discards the dynamite and just does damage. It's going to be 2 damage. So we go 1, 2, but Dozy is going to do something else. Lessons in punishment. Dozy lectures you on the finer points of bravery and the gumption while beating you silly. Target the townfolk with the lowest total mental feats. They're both 0 still. That's so funny because I think Norman is the only one that can get this. Move towards the target. If Dozy reaches them, trigger the after effect. Okay, he's there. The target instantly achieves a feat of their choice if possible. They do not receive a reward for its completion, but instead takes damage equal to the point value. If the point value of the feat is 0, they are knocked out. Holy moly, man, I'm glad we didn't take that extra damage. Okay, so we're not doing that one. I guess we're going to do Nimble Trader. So he succeeded at a feat. It's a 1. He doesn't get the rewards, and he takes a damage. But he did complete the feat as he took a beat down during that lecture, and Dozy is no longer asleep. Okay, or Dozer. That is the end of that turn. All right. Let's go back to Granny Melba now. She's going to, she threw the, is it 1 mox to get up in the tree? It is 1 mox to climb the tree. So that just, all that matters is her ability to shoot. So we just need to put distance. Okay. She goes, she wants 1, 2, 3, 4. That puts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So she backs up. She can shoot. Now remember, she, this turn, yeah, because she threw the dynamite last turn. So she can use Rudy Tutor this turn. She rolls a 3. That's going to be a 5. That is going to be a miss. No, that's not true. It's 4. So she's at -2. No, that's the thing. See, she's at -2, so it's +2. So she misses again. That is awful. All right, and then for Yancey, do we do this frantic fighter? You might want to do that instead. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, because he's heading toward the well to get some healing. Oh, he's detained. He can't. He has to take a damage, and he cannot take a damage. So he cannot move. He's just going to hit Yancey. Yancey doesn't have, or sorry, he's going to hit Dozer. Dozer doesn't have any more breakpoints left, so we can just kill him if Granny could just hit. Let's see, a 7, so he hit with his old Smacky doing 1 more point of damage. All we need to do is have Dozer fall asleep and he'll just die. So we might win this fight. That'd be super cool. All right, let's, we didn't do anything with the terrain much, but at least we're going to beat this guy. However, it is his turn. Let's just break this out. We didn't go through his deck, even most of it. So there he's going to fall asleep. He's going to die at the end of this turn. Dozy. Oh, I did do the frantic thing. So it's 2 mocks for the frantic fighter. If the next, no, he hit him, so he couldn't do that. Never mind. He hit him instead. Okay, target. So toppling crush. Dozy charges forward and face plants into a napping position. Target none. Face the closest townfolk and move forward. Deal 2 damage to any townfolk that collides with Dozy. Dozy falls asleep until his next action. So here we go. We're going to knock 2 people out this round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's going to move to here and knock her back. He collides with him and knocks him out for 2 points of damage. And Granny takes 2 points of damage. She's still fine. She wouldn't mind taking 1 more because then she can get one of her feats. Okay, so Granny's up. That's all. She's the only one left. Can't deal 3 damage. She can restore health. And then maybe get the skin of the teeth, because he's going to die at the end of the turn. He falls asleep. Oh, he dies now. He falls asleep, and that's going to be the end of him, because he takes a point of damage. Yeah, double Dozy. Whenever Dozy falls asleep during an action, he takes 1 damage. So that's what just happened. So he just bashed everybody aside and took the damage. So Granny Melba wins the day. Dozy, sheriff or whatever his name is, Lawman Dozer gets knocked out, and that's going to be the end of that. Now I'm going to do, so let's talk about what happens after we win the fight. So this isn't the final fight, so we're not worried about that. But victory, okay, victory. If a townfolk's health could get 2 knocked out townsfolks, we need to look at that too. If they're knocked out and removed from the board, knocked out townfolk still receive coins if the ruffian is defeated, but are not eligible to receive the ruffian loot, regardless of how many feats they've accomplished this round. As long as 1 fellow townfolk survives the fight, all townfolk are restored back to full health at the beginning of the next round. Okay, defeating a ruffian. If the ruffian's hit point would go below 1, they're defeated and the fight is over. Upon defeating the ruffian, townsfolk will do the following. Townfolk may discard any unaccomplished feats they do not want the next round. This could be all of them. And Granny Melva may keep 1. Each townfolk receives 6 coins courtesy of the ruffian's wallet. Search the mutilated corpse for goodies to help you on your journey. Each ruffian has their own 3 pieces of ruffian gear that are listed at the bottom of the ruffian card. The townfolk who accomplish the most feats, not the most points this round, receives one at random. Knocked out townfolk are not eligible for the reward. In case of a tie, roll for the highest. So what if we didn't get any of the feats? Like Granny did not get a feat. Does she not get the stuff? Storage townfolk stats. Yep. Okay. Rotate the townfolk order on the buy and beaten bar. Townfolk is on top is moved to the bottom. Okay. Return to the town to recuperate. All right. Well, we did defeat him, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at this and see if we get the stuff. Let's just see what it is, because I'm sure it's going to be good. And you know, we always need stuff, right? That's just the name of the game, the name of all the games, stuff and things. And let's see, unique items. So Dozer has, let's see, does it say which ones? No, it doesn't. So you have to look at the deck of the card. Ruffian Dozer rewards. He's got luxurious brows, handcuffs, and fake badge. Okay, let's find those in the special stuff. There's a lot of special stuff, by the way. Nope, nope, nope. Still working. It's going to be the last three I look at. You know that, right? Wait, they're not in there at all. Okay, luscious brows, Dozy's handcuffs, and fake badge. Okay. I didn't see any of those, but we'll look. I'll be right back. Yeah, so I can't find the rules where it actually says you don't get one of the rewards for the boss if you're the last person standing, and maybe or maybe did not complete a feat. But Granny Melva was the last person standing, so I'm going to give her the fake badge. I think that is okay. That's what she ended up with, the fake badge. And then we're going to, of course, look at the uncompleted feats and see if we want to keep any of them before we continue on. So let's see. Then we're going to get new feats later on. But bullied, see that one, I probably would have got that one actually, but he was already down and went down. Norman went down the first one. Restore 2 hit points. He doesn't really have the ability to do that. So I think we're going to dump both of those feats as well for him. And then for Granny, you know, we might keep this one, and this one's going to go. So I think we'll keep the regenerator. And then let's see, anything, I didn't like any of them for Yancey, I think. Well, we completed one. We got the Nimble Trader. So he's got that, but got this Lord of the Landscape. That one, yeah, and sell a piece of gear. I mean, we could keep that. That's likely he might do that. I mean, what has he got for? He doesn't really have any gear to sell. I guess he could sell the Lucky Coin, but why when it's one of the things, if he gets some crits, it's going to do some real good for him. So I think we'll get rid of both of those 2 in the end of the round. And of course, everybody gets 6 coins. So here's what we're gonna end on. I'm gonna give everybody their money. We're gonna reset them. Giving everybody their 6 coins. We're gonna reset their stuff, and then we're gonna reveal who our next bully, our next person is gonna be, and then we're going to end it there. So that'll be the end of the episode from that. We just defeated Lawman Dozy, but we know there's another bad guy coming to deal with Eureka Springs, so let's see who that's going to be. Lawman Dozy's little token come off the board, and let's see who's next. All right, well, here we go. Who did Umbrello? Well, let's take a look at Umbrello really quick. I don't remember playing against Umbrello in my test a long time ago, but we're going to take a look at Umbrello. Got to sort through. There's Umbrello right there. It says, Umbrello is the mayor of a neighboring town by the name of Sprinkle Falls. Known for its dismal weather and depressing atmosphere, it's not too much of a tourist attraction. Visitors don't tend to stay in Sprinkle Falls for long, and Umbrello is sick of it. The struggling mayor has concocted a plan to bring his town from the sad hamlet to the thriving metropolis. Not by making Sprinkle Falls better, but by making the neighboring towns worse. It looks like his first course of action is increasing the murder rate in the countryside top tourist destination, Eureka Springs. And now we're in a 3-player, so he's going to be 6 and 14 again. I think that's pretty standard. And he's the hooligan, so now he's got rising tides. Town folks that start their turn adjacent to the town pond take a damage. So obviously the town pond's going to be in this one for us, and that's him as the hooligan. And so it goes in order. So you know the enemies get a little tougher as we go. So if it was a troublemaker or the final fight, it'd be even worse. And his weakness is lame winds. Umbrello can only cause Townsfolk to move up to 1 square with his actions. What? Lame winds. Umbrello can only cause Townsfolk to move up to 1 square with his actions. Okay, we'll see what that means. I'm not sure how that's going to play out. And here's how the board's going to look for him. I was going to set this up now with y'all, but today's a weird day. It's extremely windy. My whole studio out here is rocking, and it's cold as heck. So I'm probably going to set this up a little later. Anyway, we're going to end it right there with that completion of our first journey to beat, or actually rather save Eureka Springs by beating Lawman Dozy. And now a little time has passed. Everybody got to recover and relax and enjoy their time in Eureka Springs. And sooner or later, trouble cropped up again, and the Rainmaker Umbrello has come to deal with Eureka Springs. Talk to you in the next one. Take care, and I hope to see you soon.